What's up, guys? Welcome to the 12th episode of season 2 of the Trackside Girls podcast. You have to swap it around because you're backwards on my screen. There you go.
There we go. One of these days I'll remember. Or not.
But it's been fairly eventful across the 3 sports that we go over on this podcast. Let's, as always, start off with NASCAR. Going back to last week before Dover, you guys knew we mentioned Eric Jones. He was out of the car. He's out of the car indefinitely due to a vertebrae fracture. And so Corey Heim will be driving for him until he is better and able to be back in the car. I'm sorry, I just found out Casey Kane is going to be at the Hendrick Fan Fest. Sorry, I love Casey Kane. I love him so much.
I'll see him on Wednesday. For Kyle Larson's High Limit.
Right.
Because that's on Wednesday.
Oh, okay. This isn't last week. This happened today. But Daniel Suarez passed his citizenship test. Connor Mozak will be running select races in the 7 truck for Spire. Starting in Kansas.
Let's go. Dude, I love Connor Mozak.
So that's another one of your boys you gotta chase down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kyle Larson unveiled his Darlington throwback paint scheme, and it is thrown back to Terry Labonte in the Kellogg's car. It actually looks pretty accurate if you guys haven't seen it. Connor Zilic is going to be at Martinsville in the 7 truck. So they're just passing that truck around. So Kyle Larson is going to be running the Indy 500 as well on the same weekend of the Coca-Cola 600. Not Coca-Cola 600, the All-Star race. It's the weekend of the All-Star race is practice for the Indy 500. And so instead of doing practice and qualifying for the All-Star race, Kyle Larson is going to be in Indy practicing for the Indy 500. And so the driver that will be in his seat for that practice and qualifying in NASCAR will be Kevin Harvick. So Happy is coming down from the booth to fill in for Kyle Larson.
I love how they announced it on FS1's pre-race.
Yeah.
So that he was coming back.
But as for the race weekend, it was only actually ARCA raced in Dover. Was it Connor?
Connor won.
Connor Zilic won ARCA, and oh my gosh, I about said his dad's name. Carson Kvapil finished second. Which, spoiler, if you don't know, he finished third in the Xfinity race in his second ever start. So, wow.
He finished second in the Xfinity race.
Yeah, he did.
What? He finished second.
I thought they said in the interview after the race that he finished third.
They They completely messed it up. He finished second in the Xfinity race.
Oh. Okay, then there you go. Second in his second ever start. Or was it
Sheldon, all the way from fourth, decided like after the caution came out just to jump like on the past everybody to go to the start finish line.
okay.
And that's what made it say that Sheldon finished second.
Okay.
Yeah, NASCAR's getting a little confused on who finished where. And it's starting to annoy me. Because they can't get it together.
But either way, top 5 finish. And so the Xfinity race, Brandon Jones got pole. So we thought that Molly's pick was gonna be right. But then he started having some issues during the race. As for that race, right out of the, actually it was during the first stage. JJ Yaley and Haley Deegan are involved in an accident. People started blaming Dawson Cram for starting that. But Dawson Cram pulled out the SMT data and was like, that was not me.
Oh my gosh.
So he literally videoed the SMT data and posted it on Twitter. Then the biggest, I would say this is probably was the most eventful. I don't even know if you'd call it an accident. I guess an incident. Ryan Sieg's car burst into flames. With 20 to go in the first stage. Honestly, probably record time climbing out of that car. Like, I think before the car was even stopped for like 2 seconds, you already saw him walking out of. He was already walking out of the smoke.
Dude, it was so hard because like they were up in the booth. They were trying to figure out who it was. Everybody was trying to figure out who it was because no one knew it was Ryan Sieg because they kept posting the wrong name, and then finally they figured out that it was Ryan.
They thought that
they couldn't figure out who it was.
Yeah, they thought it was Maddie D at first, but
yeah,
you know, I know my Ryan Sieg numbers. Okay, I know their team, so I'm like, no, that's not Maddie D. Maddie D doesn't is the 38.
It was crazy.
But
his car burst into flames so fast though.
Yeah.
And then his car was just smoking, and then all of a sudden he was like out of the car, and I'm like, how?
So
luckily he got out fast.
Yeah. Like I saw the aftermath of that, and it was the car looked almost melted.
Yeah, because they posted the picture on Twitter, didn't they?
Yeah, because apparently Ryan was underneath the car, like, checking it whenever they had pulled it back to the garage, and they had it up on jacks, and Ryan was underneath looking at stuff. But the problems for RSS Racing didn't stop at Ryan Sieg, because Blaine Perkins was out at right after the end of stage 1 with an electrical fire. Luckily, his car didn't burst into flames like Ryan Sieg's. But they came back from commercial, and all you see is Blaine's car being towed back to the garage. So I'm sitting here like, bro, where's my driver at? And they didn't say a single thing else about it. Then Kyle Sieg gets caught in a late incident. So it was just not a good day for RSS Racing. You guys might have to fill in a couple of the blanks because after that happened, I fell asleep until about 25 laps left. Um, um, which I don't think much actually happened in between that amount of time. Um, Something happened with Corey Heim. I believe he was
I don't know,
out.
but I can tell you I fell asleep. Uh, yeah, I don't exactly know what happened to Corey. As I was scrolling through the list of names, I just noticed that Corey, it just said off. Don't know what happened to him because, you know, stupid commercial breaks just ain't it, and that's when everything happens. So, who the heck knows what actually happened? I don't even think that they said. I don't even know because I never said what actually happened with him, to be fair. He was just off the track and then all of a sudden he was just out of the race. So, no idea.
But this race
Uh,
it had to go into overtime. Um, Twice, I believe, and there was I think the first overtime it was Austin Hill on the inside and Carson Quapple
Carson
on the outside.
got into him.
And
Let's go.
no, not even that. So the first time, Carson didn't really realize that you could go that deep into the corner in the outside lane. So he's sitting in there, and Austin Hill tried to move up on him and just got loose and lost it. Um, so
I'm not gonna lie, I was literally waiting for Sheldon to either one just take Austin Hill out, or because I think it's funny. Sheldon literally kept lining up behind Austin, and I'm like, for the love of tomorrow, please take him out because I do not want to see Austin Hill win this race. Because I just don't really care for Austin Hill in general. So I think it's funny that every single time Sheldon kept lining up behind him, and I'm like, okay, listen, if you're gonna line up behind him, do something to him. And then when he just spun out by himself, I laughed out loud. Like it was a very deep laugh, and it hurt my throat because I laughed that hard, and it was beautiful. I was so glad he was out.
I mean, every time Sheldon and Austin got near each other, they kept them bumping and banging.
Well, they still got beef. They still literally have not talked to each other since they were teammates. Because they said that in the beginning when they interviewed them when NASCAR came back. They still have not talked and they won't talk because Austin's like, I don't need him anymore. He's not a teammate. And I'm like, okay. They
so
still have beef.
I recorded my reaction to like the last two restarts. Um, and that was one of the comments I made. I was like, Sheldon Creed is lining up behind Austin Hill. Let's get ready. And then nothing happened. And I was like, and then I I squealed. I think I squealed. Like whenever Austin Hill spun out, and I was like, yes, Carson's gonna get this. Come on, right? And um, oh gosh, who was he? To be honest, I forgot who won.
Ryan Truex.
Oh, yeah, okay, yes, yes.
Stupid Joe Gibbs Racing again.
Like it's okay. The only good thing I see about this is that yes, that car is in the owners championship, but it's not in the drivers championship because of how many drivers drive that car. So, luckily, like for the team, like or for the other teams, like the other drivers who are full time, it doesn't take up a playoff spot.
I still think they should have called the race when it was raining because then my pick would have won because I picked Cole Custer. And then I was really hoping that Carson could win because Carson was my long shot. So either way, I would have won.
Instead, none of us won.
None of us won. I was close.
But I think the biggest news of this race was that Anthony Alfredo won the Dash for Cash. Like, I know you guys were pulling for Riley, but
It would have been Riley if that Justin didn't hit him.
Like, we'll see. That's the team that I pull for all those guys. Like, yeah, they have one driver, but like that team, they work so hard, and they're a small team. There's only, on excluding the pit crew, there are only maybe 15 people on that team, and about maybe 6 of them work in the shop. So, and like they used to be on the RCR campus, but they have moved since. And so the only connection they have to RCR now is through Team Dillon Management, which some of those guys help out the team. But other than that, like they have to go to the R&D center. They don't have any connections to, like they run ECR engines, but other than that, they are a solo team. And so them winning $100,000 is fantastic for them. And I was waiting on the end of the race. Regan interviewed Anthony Alfredo, and they didn't air it. It was 24 hours later that NASCAR on Fox had to post the interview to Twitter. Like, even Anthony was like, they interviewed me, did they not show it? And then finally, NASCAR on Fox posted it. And also,
see, that's the thing that sucks, is that you had last week when Noah got his top 3 at Talladega, you literally had to wait until somebody on Twitter posted his interview because they didn't even, because they interviewed him and they didn't freaking show it because they only show first and second, which is so stupid. But you have to wait for like the 3rd place finish or like people in the back who they thought were gonna be like potential winners. You have to wait until everybody posted on Twitter, which is so annoying, honestly.
Like even my dad was like, they're not even gonna interview Noah. Like they're not even gonna interview him.
They interview them, they just don't show them because they could honestly care less.
like,
that's how that goes.
But once we go to NBC, they interview a lot of people and they show it on everything. They show a lot of people's.
We'll see. So whenever they switch over to NBC, they normally do like the post-race show on moving over to Peacock, so they add a lot more stuff to it. Like, which, to be fair, Peacock is behind a paywall, but they still show a lot more interviews, and like, it's like, there's like your top level drivers, the most, like, it's mostly the older drivers who have been in the sport longer, that they have hundreds of thousands of fans, and so that's who they focus on. But you have Noah, who even this week has had like a good run, and you don't even interview him, or you don't air the interview. Like,
what's up, brother?
Special teams, special plays. Tuesday.
Special plays, special players.
Tuesday. Anyway, but that's it. It kind of annoys me that that's how that goes down. Like, not everyone is a fan of these drivers who have been in it for 15 plus years, okay? Like,
There's few of them that I like. I don't care if you've been in it for a long time, I may not like you. And then they take 10 million years to interview them and ask them basically the same questions over and over again until they finally answer it. That's how I feel about it. And I'm like, stop.
but either way, big win. Even though he didn't. Okay, oh, actually, during what I wanted to point out is Regan, whenever interviewing Anthony Alfredo, goes coming off a second top 10, and I'm like, Regan, it's actually 3. 3 top 10s in a row. So, just saying.
Just saying.
But ultimately, it was Ryan Truex that won the Xfinity race. As for the Cup stuff, over the weekend, Zane went into the wall in practice. Kaz Gralla had a big wreck. That he just overcorrected, and it was too quick to for him to really react, and they had to break out the backup car. And Christopher Bell, my pick, spun in qualifying, so he started dead last. And then Kyle Busch ended up getting the pole. As for the actual race,
it was the most boringest race of my life. I was sleeping, and I wish I would just stayed asleep.
you say that's actually kind of funny. You say that like almost every week. But like, to be fair, this one was kind of like,
Well, here's my thing. I'm so tired of watching Joe Gibbs Racing and Hendrick Motorsports battle against each other week after week. It gets so boring. Like, the Fords don't get a chance, and even if they do, they're like, no. They'll just give them like a penalty or whatever to be, even if it's nothing. I'm so tired of watching Joe Gibbs Racing and Hendrick Motorsports competing against each other because it's only like 3 of them. It's either Willie B, but he got his first DNF of the season, which made me laugh out loud and I was very happy about. Or it's Kyle Larson and then Denny Hamlin. I'm so tired of watching those 3 battle against each other because it's so boring. Like, it's not fun anymore. Like, at all. Like, I physically don't want to watch the Cup anymore if it's just going to be those 3 competing against each other. Because nothing ever happens. They're not even racing anymore. Like, that's the name of the game, racing. And they're not racing at all. They're, like, piddling around. Not really racing.
Because it's just like what a lot of drivers said last week at Talladega. We're not even racing. It's like, well, what are we doing? We're like, we're not even racing.
Like, it's not fun anymore. It's quite boring.
So, Denny Hamlin won the race. Who was it? Was it Denny or Kyle Larson that said that they should either remove or lessen the view of the rear view cameras? I can't remember who
it was. It was Larson. And Denny said we shouldn't do that.
Because basically what happens, the term that was brought up quite a bit for the Cup race was called air blocking, which is essentially you watch the rear view camera and you put your car wherever the car behind you is, and it keeps that clean air off of the car behind you. And clean air helps these cars. That's how it works. Most motorsports, that's how it works. But in small tracks like this, it's very easy to use this to their advantage, to the person in front's advantage. and it's kind of annoying because you don't see as much racing because you're just the driver in front's on defense the entire time. And yeah, so but yeah, a lot of people were mentioning that.
Because I've seen people comment on Twitter like, "Am I the only one that's tired of seeing the Joe Gibbs and Hendrick show?" Pretty much.
I mean,
like, series.
that's all it is at this point. It's just Joe Gibbs and it's just Hendrick. Like, the Fords don't even have a chance.
Like,
like at all.
I don't know. See,
It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating because it's getting so boring because it's just two teams competing against each other.
during the race, one of the incidents was Zane Smith went up into Ricky Stenhouse, put him in the wall. Ricky came across, and William Byron hit.
Actually, if you look from, I don't know who was behind them. It might have been Corey. It was they were like 3 wide. It was Tyler Reddick, Zane, and Bubba. Tyler Reddick comes up into Zane, and Zane gets into Bubba.
Oh, that's okay. That's what it was.
Entire Reddick, that Tyler, with that entire wreck.
I didn't appreciate Bubba in his interview calling Zane a squirrel.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he said, I wish, I don't even know what it was.
I heard, the part that I heard was that he was like, I'm turning 30, I'm about to have a kid, I need to start acting more mature.
He said that, and then he called Zane a squirrel. And I'm like, wow, that's real mature for an almost 30-year-old and gonna be a dad this year. Real mature, Bubba. Don't call other people squirrels. I was like, are you kidding me?
Okay, so I got the...
A lot of people blame Zane for that wreck, but it was actually Tyler Reddick's fault.
Well, see, I originally thought it was Zane's.
It's Tyler's.
So I was thinking of a separate accident with Ricky Stenhouse. And it was where NASCAR Chasm posted where Ricky was riding the inside wall. And they said a sequel to the Hail Melon, and we're gonna call it the Sad Pancake.
because
he was running a what is it, Hungry Jacks? Is that what it is? It's like, isn't it syrup? I think
it was the
or no,
it's
pancake
Hungry
mix.
Jacks is pancake mix.
Okay.
Because Kevin Harvick made a comment about it, and he was like, "You're really making me hungry for some pancakes now." When they talked to him on the pre-race, because they talked about that.
It was kind of funny. But yes, Denny Hamlin won Dover. But on to INDYCAR. They raced in Alabama. And stuff that came out last week, that a month and a half later, after the St. Pete opening race, Team Penske got disqualified. There are 3 cars, because their push to pass system was still, it still had like stuff from the thermal exhibition race, and even stuff that dated all the way back to like September of last year, I think it was. And so that system, that glitch, was never fixed for the beginning of the season. So they were able to use push to pass at the start, or on restarts. And and
I knew you were posting your B-reel.
so Willpower didn't use it, but it showed that both Joseph and Scott McLaughlin did use it. And so all three cars got disqualified, which named Pato O'Ward as the race winner.
Which means I won because I picked Pato as my long shot.
But finally, they came out mainly. So they all made statements, but mainly Joseph Newgarden came out and did an interview or press conference or something, explaining the situation about what happened. That he was under the impression that because they implemented that into the thermal race, that they kept that rule for the rest of the season. So he was under that impression that he didn't do anything wrong until they told him otherwise. So all of them, let's see, I think it was actually Joseph and Scott got actually disqualified, and I think Will got a 10-point dock because he didn't actually use it, but because it was still on his car, that they had to penalize him in some way. So I think that was the main thing that happened last week. Something news came out today, I think, the day that we're filming this. David Malukas has been released from Arrow McLaren. Honestly, makes sense. Unfortunately, David has that injury, and he is not a psychopath like Lance Stroll and can be back in a week in the car driving with broken wrists. And it's taking him a lot longer to recover. And it's a sad instance on like David accepts like what they're saying, and unfortunately he can't follow through on his contract, so they did release him. I'm not too sure if who they're going to put in the car for the rest of the season, but it could potentially be Théo Pourchaire who has who filled in, but we shall see. Something that happened at Barber, first Scott McLaughlin got pole, and the really big thing is a mannequin fell off of a bridge that went over the track, and a couple cars ran over it. And one of those...
I saw the picture on Twitter, and I got genuinely scared because I thought it was a person and I thought they were dead. Didn't realize it was a mannequin.
It was a mannequin.
Didn't realize that.
And one of those people who ran it over, or almost had their race ended by this mannequin, was Scott McLaughlin. And so he took pictures with this mannequin after the race. But it was a Team Penske 1-2, with Scott McLaughlin winning and Willpower in second, and Linus Lundqvist, as far as I'm aware, he's a rookie, came from 19th onto the podium in third.
He's Louisa.
So, yeah. Props to him.
my long shot won the race.
Yes. So now the score is Lakota's got 2 because of Pato, and then I have 1, and then Molly has 1. In our scoreboard. So on to Formula One, there isn't much to say. Really, the big thing is that's all over Twitter and TikTok is Lando Norris was in Amsterdam with his good friend Martin Garrix, DJ, partying for King's Day on a boat. And what I believe to have happened is the bridge of his nose got cut on some broken glass, and his face is completely wrapped up, looking like he's a mummy. And so people thought he broke his nose. Cause like if you look at the videos, he is partying pretty hard. But that news came out that like he had a busted nose. And then he's already, like I said, we're filming this on Monday. He's already in Miami Beach, Florida as of Sunday. So pretty sure that man was like probably off his rocker on a plane. Like for him to like immediately that quickly be from Amsterdam to Miami is like, does he sleep? Couldn't tell you.
I don't think any of them sleep. What are you talking about?
You're not wrong.
I don't think any of them sleep.
So there was a lot of rumors going around that Adrian Newey could be leaving Red Bull. But apparently he has a specific contract that he can't get out of, so he's gonna be there for a while. There's so many rumors flying around in the F1 community. Like Nico Hulkenberg never thought he'd leave Haas, but he is going to Sauber next season for 2025. Like, so that leaves a seat open, or actually, I mean, technically none of their seats were signed for at Haas, but that leaves open that seat for potentially Ollie Behrman to move up to Formula One.
My little Ollie Bear.
So,
Ollie.
so Ferrari and HP have now a title partnership. So now their team is Scuderia Ferrari HP. And it's a multi-year agreement. You had, after last race, you had the Red Bull mechanics were apparently hula hooping with the trophy. Like, okay, I guess. Oh, and apparently there's reports that after Miami, Max and his team is supposed to be meeting with people at Mercedes. And I hate to tell you, as much as I like I said, I am a Max fan through and through. Okay? You will not catch me buying Mercedes merch for Max Verstappen. Like, hate to say it. Let's see, all of them are breaking out their Miami paint scheme or helmet schemes. Which Oscar Piastri's looks really sick. As for, so Ferrari is doing a one-off livery that is blue. And the only thing I could think of was that TikTok sound. It's like, blue! If you guys know what I'm talking about.
I think of Bluey whenever when it saw the blue. I thought of Bluey.
Fair. I've
That's what went through my head was Bluey.
Fair. Okay, so the actual Ferraris that have the dark blue with the light blue stuff, and then the light blue with the dark blue. It's like, unfortunately I'm not gonna be at Miami this year. I'm very sad about it. But if they're actually driving those Ferraris around Miami, I'm gonna be so upset that I'm not able to see it in person, because those, I've seen so many of the pictures and they look so pretty. Can you tell I like cars? On to the weekend. This weekend is
Kansas.
yes. In NASCAR, it is Kansas. It is trucks and cup at Kansas. Oh god.
Finally I get my truck boys back. I've missed them. Since the last time I saw them.
Gosh, you guys probably already have your picks written down. You guys I don't even know who I'd pick.
Oh, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go to my handy dandy notebook.
I already have mine pulled up, so.
Bro.
I had to write mine on my paper so I don't forget.
Bro, what the heck?
We're gonna go first.
I was saying, it can't be me. I don't even have mine yet. Oh, yo, guys!
I would like to clarify.
Guys, Jinjo Cobb.
Zane's running the Zane. Oh. Zane's running the truck race too.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Jo Cobb is racing in the trucks, as well as Mason Maggio.
Zane's also racing. And Zane's a racing. Which is funny that he is racing, but I love that he's racing. Technically, I've had my two. Technically, I've had my two truck picks picked out for actual quite some time now. It was when I really had to spin the wheel for Cup, because that was a struggle for me. Molly was on FaceTime with me when that happened, so that was kind of funny. She kept laughing at me, but it's fun.
Okay.
I don't care. Someone can go first.
I think I'm gonna go my winner, Corey Heim. Okay. And then my long shot, Daniel Dye. Maybe? No. Ooh. Yes.
Okay.
I was gonna switch him. I was gonna switch him to Chase Purdy, but I'll stick with Daniel Dye. So my winner, Corey Heim. Long shot, Daniel Dye.
Purdy.
So.
Okay. Oh, you're going next, Molly? Okay.
Yeah. So my winner, Christian, and my long shot is Grant.
And Finger, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I also have my winner as Christian because he's won there quite a few times.
Okay.
Actually. And then I had my long shot as Corey.
Okay.
That's my picks.
Do you guys know who's driving the 15 in the Cup Series?
Mm-hmm.
Good old
Mr.
Riles.
Riley Herbst.
Riley Herbst.
Good old Riley boy.
This is his first cup race at a non-super speedway.
Ooh, so we're really gonna see how he
True,
does.
because he normally races a super. He normally races. Yeah, he normally races in super speedways, but I can tell you can't stay in a super speedway. Not at all. No,
Um,
not at all.
I feel like if I say this, I might jinx him. No, you know what? I'll put him. I'll put that one as my long shot. You know, I'm gonna go a full 23-11 lineup. Winner Tyler Reddick, long shot Bubba Wallace.
They've won every. They either one of them have won every single time that I've been to the race.
Then my odds
Because
are good.
last year it was Bubba, and then before that it was Tyler. Yeah, unfortunately.
But my winner for the Cup Series is Noah, and my long shot is Carson.
Okay.
Okay. Well, the heck, Molly. My winner's Carson, and I'm not saying who my long shot is because it's him, and I ain't gonna jinx him. But I'm just gonna point to him because the last time I did that, I really screwed him over in Martinsville. So, it's that boy right there. This boy.
Yeah. Okay.
This boy. That's
For
what boy it is.
for those who can't see the visuals, she just picked Harrison Burton.
Love it.
Well, there you go. You didn't say it, so like.
But I refuse to say his name because I did him dirty in Martinsville.
So.
We good.
INDYCAR
We good.
is off this weekend, but we have Miami Formula One is coming to the 305. Okay, I guess we're just gonna do a pick and a long shot. I guess we're just gonna stick with that for all three series.
A pick and a long shot.
When
we all know that our winner's gonna be exactly the same.
Yeah.
Winner Max
I mean, at this
Verstappen.
point, I think we can.
Okay,
Yeah,
or do
we Verstappen,
you know,
no doubt about that.
I feel like I want to stick with just the winner and long shot, but it would be funny if we just pick the second and third place.
That's what I'm saying, because we all know who's gonna be first, and if he's not first, then I don't know what happened, because that would be a shocker. That's what I'm saying, because if we keep picking him as the winner, because he obviously wins every single race that there is,
So
except for that one time when he
DNF. How about we're all defaulting to picking Max each race, okay? That's a given.
Yeah. That's a given. We just say second and third.
Yeah. So
Lord.
if that's the case, I'm going Lando. And gosh.
No, stop, because I was also thinking Lando too, so...
But I'm genuinely gonna be so sad if he actually... You know what? If he's on the podium or even wins this weekend, I'm gonna be so sad that I missed it. Like, I will genuinely, like... You know, I'm gonna go Lando and Oscar.
Double McLaren podium.
Yeah. Double McLaren podium. Their car probably is nowhere close to that. It's probably gonna be Checo.
I mean, let's be honest. I think it's gonna go Max Checo and then whoever third place is.
Probably.
But I'm also gonna say Lando, and honestly, it's probably gonna be Carlos because I feel like he's placed on the podium every single time, almost just about.
Well, this season he has been on every podium except for the race that he was out.
Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna go Lando.
Or no, wait, was he? Oh yes, I think he was on the podium in Japan. Hold on. I didn't watch that one because it was the middle of the night and I was in Talladega.
You didn't want to watch it in the middle of the night?
Oh, sorry, it was China that he wasn't on. So he was on Bahrain, he was out for Saudi, he was on for Australia and Japan. So he's only missed China. And Lando was on the China podium.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna say Lando and Carlos.
I go Checo and Charles.
Okay.
Charles.
Charles.
I feel like Checo's also kind of a given though at the same time because he's always second somehow.
So Charles was on the podium the first time that they went to Miami in 2022. Fun fact, if you guys didn't know that. And then last year it was Checo and Alonso with Max. And this year I'm saying, listen, I think I've mentioned this like multiple times. I'm not a Red Bull fan. I'm a Max fan. So so I want Max on a double McLaren podium. I mean,
Yeah,
I would love to see Daniel Ricciardo somehow get his Visa Cash App RB up there somehow, but I don't
Dude,
think.
I would love it. I would love if Danny Rick was on the podium, but unfortunately, I don't know if it's ever gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen either. We're lucky if he gets points. Okay.
I mean, we all know how much I love Logan, and it's never gonna happen for that him because it ain't never gonna happen for him.
Yeah.
Never, never.
Also this weekend, F1 Academy, is going to be racing in Miami, which actually, Jack Doohan, former Formula 2 driver, and Alpine reserve driver, is very jealous that the girls get to race at Miami because he wants to race at Miami. Um, he said that in one of the, I can't remember if it was like post race shows or something, a couple races back, but somebody put my boy into a free practice session, please. Like, get him out there. So it's gonna be a packed weekend in Miami. Man, I wish I was down there. It would, gosh, because Alex is doing Alex Albon is doing a pop up meet and greet at some, I can't remember exactly where, but all you have to do is buy Duracell batteries. It's the first 100 people.
I use his batteries every day of my life, basically.
Like,
Love that.
Molly, what day are you leaving?
Friday.
Are you flying?
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say, surely you were not driving 18 hours.
Guys, that'll be me the next time is driving 18 hours.
Yeah.
I'm so thrilled about that. I'm really not. I hate long car rides. I get car sick so bad. It's awful.
That's why I am always the one that's driving. Oh
Well,
my gosh. So
luckily I have like nausea bracelets, so it's fine.
I used to have those. Yeah. I used to have to use those all the time.
Yeah, I have them.
There's a special edition body armor bottle.
And it's Blaney's championship.
Yes, he says they're like at select stores in like Charlotte, Richmond, and other select cities. I wonder what city.
Charlotte, Richmond, and Charleston, and then other select retailers.
Am I gonna have to go searching for a for a body armor bottle?
If somebody wants to send me one, that would be lovely because it ain't gonna be in Kansas because Kansas is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It looks like one of the bigger ones. I saw it as the 28 fluid ounce ones, so most likely it's gonna look at the gas stations, like a Circle K or a Sheet, something like that.
Oh,
I
actually,
told my dad he's gonna have to be on the lookout for them.
something that I forgot about. So Coda, for the U.S. Grand Prix in October, they've announced their music guests. Their 2 concerts. It's gonna be for Friday night. It's Sting, and for Saturday night, it's Eminem.
I love Eminem. Fun fact, my parents and their friends, I went to Vegas with them and they went to go watch Sting in concert. And I stayed in the hotel room because I didn't want to go. I just wanted to go to Vegas. And then I was up all night because my parents' flight kept getting delayed. And so then we went out to breakfast at like 5 a.m. in the morning. The norm. What in the world? Love that. Frick. Balls of fire.
Carlos signs to join Dynaco Racing.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny. But yeah, oh my gosh, it's actually Logan's home race this weekend. Like, obviously there's 3 US Grand Prix, but Logan Sargent is actually from like 20 minutes from the track. He's from Fort Lauderdale, which is very, very, very close, like the next city over, um, from Miami. So we wish him luck. Hopefully, please, for the love of God, do not finish last this year. Manifesting, please. Like, Williams hopefully got their chassis stuff figured out. Please.
Hopefully.
But we'll
That's
find out.
the hope.
Yep. We shall find out. So that means next episode, you guys will hear all about Molly and Lakota's adventures over the weekend.
Look, I got some boys to hunt down. And I have some words to have with some said boys. I'll be hunting some boys down.
Actually, fun fact. My mom turned Lakota into a verb. And I can't remember who she was referring to. It might have been Charles Leclerc. But then my mom goes, yeah, if I ever saw Charles, I would Lakota.
Okay. Cool.
Because
wow.
Because of how you react to a lot of the drivers.
Okay. Here's this. I will say
you have gotten better. You have.
I have gotten better. It's the initial shock when I first see them. Like, I don't know. I honestly, the goal is if I see Ty, well, I obviously know I'm gonna see Ty this weekend because he has a Q&A. I'm literally not gonna cry because I think I've met him now so many times. I did cry. I didn't like fully cry how I first cried when I first met all of them. I teared up a little bit after meeting Christian, but that was because that was pure shock and I didn't know how to handle literally anything. You know, I have gotten better about my crying, but it's just like the first reaction because I'm just so, I don't know, shook because I've seen them. Like, I met them. It's gotten better though, compared to the videos that Molly has of me crying the first time that I ever met them. It's gotten better, so that's an improvement.
But yeah, so
I'll try my hardest not to cry at Kansas.
Okay. All right. Whoop. I think that's all we got for this episode. So, this has been the 12th episode of there you go of season 2 of the Trackside Girls podcast. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. However you enjoy our podcast. And let's close it out. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. It goes peace,
Peace.
love, and race cars. Lakota's got an actual car now.
It's Ty's championship car, but it's a little
wait,
race car.
Molly, which one you got? Okay, so you have an old school one. I got Austin Cindric, and then Lakota's got Ty Gibbs.
Mr. Tyler Gibbs.
Is that really what his?
I thought I would upgrade a little bit. Actually, get a race car. I mean, Lightning McQueen's a race car, but well, technically, I can't really use this one because it's like sealed down.
Fair.
So, but I have this one that's just sitting on my desk.
But alrighty, guys, that's it from us.